Hi, my name is Lamar and I am a developer with Hero Technical Solutions, and today I want to talk to you about how you can customize your modules. So to customize your modules, I'm going to explain this using a case study with a fictional company called Bright Edge Solutions. So Bright Edge Solutions, they want to customize their modules. One of their module names isn't the right name, and they have a whole bunch of fields in it that don't really relate to what they want to do, and it kind of gets confusing and cluttered, and so they want to change that. So I'm going to show you how you can do that. While I'm also showing you how to change things, I'm also going to explain some important CRM fields that might not be very apparent or that you might use a lot, and just certain best practices to think about when you're actually customizing your module. So to get into it, I'm just going to refresh this page here. Alright, so the first thing what you want to do is you open up your CRM and you want to navigate to the settings page. So you can press the gear icon. That brings you to setup. Then under the tab customization, go to modules and fields. Next, for Bright Edge Solutions, they want to customize their deals module. So we're going to go click on deals. If you have another module that you want to update, you can update that as well. Just click on it just as we did here. So click your layout that you want to edit. We're going to choose standard. And now we're in the screen where we can edit the layout of our module. So for Bright Edge Solutions, the first thing that they want is they don't actually use the term deals. They are a software company, they are a software consulting company, they help other customers, and they don't necessarily make deals. They have ongoing things that they like to call opportunities. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to change this module name from deal and deals to opportunities. So if we scroll up to the top on the left, click the gear icon for settings, rename module. That's going to give us the opportunity to change the module name. So I'm going to change this to opportunity, opportunities, and opportunity. And that's going to better match their company's terminology. So next, we can look through the module. We can see that we have a lot of fields, a lot of different fields here. And we're going to go through them and we're going to remove some of these fields. So we're going to start out from the top and we're going to try and remove this field called Steve. We don't know what that is. We don't want it there. We're going to remove it. So click the three dots. That opens up this menu. Click remove field. And that's going to remove it. Note, when you remove a field, it doesn't actually get removed right away if it's already been on the layout. Instead, where it goes is it goes to these unused items. So if I click unused items here, I can see all those fields. This just helps protect your data. It helps protect your data and kind of stops you from breaking any workflows that you may have that use this data already. So effectively, it is deleted. You can't see or query or filter records based on this field, but the data is still there. If you really want to, you can delete it, but just note that there's a chance that you might break some things or workflows that you have. So I find unless you really need to, it's best to just leave that field there in the unused items. So we're going to keep on pressing through and remove items from this module as needed. So we're going to go and remove email. We wouldn't really want an email on the opportunity record. Those are probably going to be connected to our contacts, so we'll leave that. Multi-line, don't need right now. All of these fields we're just going to kind of remove. We'll add anything back that we need to. Just a note, as we're removing fields, we may come across a field where the writing on the side here is black. And that means that it's a system field or it's a stock field. It came with that module. Some of these fields you cannot remove. They are required by the system to perform some functionality needed in this module. So for example, pipeline on the deal, but now opportunities module. Or sorry, for example, stage on the opportunities module. It's a field that we cannot remove. It's part of the system and needs to be there. Okay, so I finished cleaning up my fields from the template here for the opportunity record. You can see that it used to be a lot longer. Now there's only one section with just these fields. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to take some time and just go through all of these fields kind of very quickly, kind of highlight what they might be able to be used for, or what they kind of do. That way, as we're going through the Bright Edge Solutions case study, you might, if you had any questions as to what a certain field does, you'd be able to know. So first one, single line, that just holds a single line of text. Next one, multi-line, that's multiple lines of text, kind of good for like a description. Email, it's text field for an email. Phone, same thing, it's phone text field for a phone number. Pick list, this is a drop-down menu. You can select the options that you want in it. Multi-select, similar to a pick list, it's a drop-down menu, but you can select multiple options as opposed to just one. Date, it's a field that holds the date. Date time is a field that holds the date and the time. Number, it's a field that holds a number. You can format the number in different ways as you'd want. Auto number, this is a auto-generated number that's created as a new record is created. So as you can imagine, this might start at 1 or a number of your choosing, and then as more records are created, it'll increment itself from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, etc. Currency, it's a field that holds a currency. Decimal, number field that holds decimal. Percent, same thing, holds percent. Long integer, this is a field that holds a long integer. I guess the best way to explain it is that it's something where the original data type of integer wouldn't fit, so you use long integer for that. It's basically just good for IDs and stuff like that. Checkbox, this is just the checkbox that appears for a field, basically like a true or false field. URL, this is a field that holds a URL so that you can click into it directly from the page. A lookup, this is a field that references another module in your CRM. Formula, this is a field that allows you to create calculated fields based on the different existing fields in your module. User, this is a lookup to the user's table or module in your CRM. So you can see all the different users or choose one or more users in your CRM to populate that lookup. File upload, this allows you to upload a file. Image upload, this allows you to upload an image. Roll up summary, this allows you to perform some aggregated calculations on related modules for this module. It's a bit of a field that you probably won't use too much, so I don't want to go too far into it. Multi-select lookup. This is a lookup that allows you to make a reference to another module and have that module also reference this module. We have a subform. A subform is a basically tabulated data on your record. The best way I can explain it is if you have a job application, the job application is your module, but then let's say they have a table in that job application that says past employers. That table, that's your subform. It's just a form or a table within your module. And then we have sections. So sections are basically just a way to group your fields together so that your module is organized neatly and nicely. And they should be used quite often because organization is key when you're customizing your layouts. Okay, so now that I've went through all of the fields, I have a list of demands from BrightEdge Solutions. So I'm going to pull these up. So these demands, they won't all be for the opportunities record. I think one might also be for a account record, but we're going to go through them and make the changes in our modules related to what their demands are. So the first one says, sales staff at BrightEdge Solutions want to capture a short, plain language description of what the opportunity involves. For example, developing SEO optimization for scripts for client site. So that's just an example of maybe like a short, brief description of what the opportunity would be about. The way that we can capture that, we could either use a single line or a multi-line field. We're going to use a single line just because they say they want it to be short. So we're just going to use the single line field here, but either would work. So single line, add that in. We can change the name here. I'm going to change this to brief technical description. And let's move on to the next one. Each opportunity should indicate whether it's for ongoing support or a one-time solution. So for this, we're going to use a pick list. We want to indicate whether or not, very quickly, is this ongoing support or for a one-time solution. This isn't the only way that you could do this. You could probably also use a checkbox and check off ongoing support, and if it's not, then it's one-time solution. You could also use a text box if you wanted, but I find pick list is probably going to be best here because let's say in the future, if you add more options, you wouldn't have to restructure how you're doing this here. You would be able to just kind of add an option to your pick list. So I'm going to add this pick list here. I'm going to say solution type. I'm going to add this option for ongoing support. And this I'm going to change into one-time solution. And now let's go back to our list here. So I'm just going to start moving some things to a completed file and put things into a needs to be done. Demand here is that Brighted Solutions offers multiple support tiers for clients: Essential, Premium, and Enterprise. And when viewing an account, the sales or account manager needs to be able to see what kind of plan the client is expected to be on or already has. And so there's a few ways that you could do it. You could do this through a pick list on the account record, but it probably won't show you more information than just the plan type. And for this, we want to imagine that there's more information than just the plan type. Maybe they want to see the type of plan and the hours left in that plan or the renewal date of the plan. So just things like that. So we're going to actually use a lookup field, and we're going to place that lookup field in a custom module called support plan. And that lookup field is going to look up the account module. That way, the account module will get a related list showing all of its support plans, so we can see the support plan in the account record. So, to show this, first I'm just going to save this. It's already saved. I'm going to back out here. So I already have the custom module made. It's called support plan. I'm going to click into it and navigate in. So here we have support plan. The name of the module is an auto number, so gets incremented as records are created. We have the support plan owner, the status of the support plan, renewal date. We have their monthly hours and health status. So the one thing that we're missing here is we want the lookup field. So I'm going to add this lookup. This is going to look up the account record. And so the field label is going to be client. And the related list title, this is the title of the related list in the account record. So I'm just going to call this support plans. And I'm going to click done. I'm going to save this and close it. And so that is going to create a related list in the account module using a lookup field from my support plan. And I just want to show you how that looks here. So I'm going to just navigate down to the modules and open up a account record. So this is a normal account record. I'm scrolling through it. You can't really see anything to note, but there is this support plans here. So that is my related list. That is where things are going to appear when a support plan is made that calls reference to this account. So I'm going to go into my support plans now. I'm just going to choose this one. And I'm going to change the client to, we're going to say Benton, because that's the one that we saw there. Now I'm going to go back to my account, click into Benton again. We can already see support plans here. There's one. If I scroll into it, we can see the support plan. So we can see the status is proposal sent. If I wanted to, I can edit this to show more fields such as, let's say, renewal date, monthly hours, health status. And so now I can just see all of that information at a glance. And you can imagine that if I were, for example, to change the support plan or have another one attributed to this, then I would be able to see that one there as well. Okay, so now I'm going to move back to my demands, move on to the opportunity module. So we're finished with that demand. Now we can see the next one is every consulting engagement has a defined term, start date, end dates, crucial for scheduling and forecasting. We have a closing date already. Let's just use that as our end date. Let us pick up another one. And we're going to call this project start date. So if this is a one-time solution, we can see that there's a project start date, we have a closing date, and that should take care of that solution there, that demand. Next, we have they want to visualize the revenue across a project's duration. For example, 6-month project where revenue is recognized monthly. So for this, what we want to do is we want to use a subform. So a subform is going to help us tabulate our data. It's good for repeated values in our data. So for example, if I had, because I want to showcase revenue for specific months, I would need to actually make 6 different revenue fields to showcase that over 6 months. But if I'm using a subform, I can just put that all in a table, have one column be month or date, and then the other column be revenue per month. So, and that's going to help me showcase my revenue per month. So the way we can do this is normally we would be able to just add a subform from here. However, because I have deleted my fields, I do need to actually fully delete my subforms because you are only allowed 2. I could have also just re-added them and changed their design, but that's okay too. I'm just going to create a new one. Subform. All of this information you can change to adapt the way your subform performs. If you want more than 25 entries, you can. We're going to say no, we're just going to leave it like that. Only thing we're going to change is the name. I'm going to say this is called project revenue subform. And now I'm going to add a field. This is going to bring up this drop down, very similar to this menu here. You just pick the fields that you want. I need date. And I need currency. So now I have this subform. And when users want, or if your sales team needs to, they can go through and click add, not in this page, but when they're on that details page of the opportunity, they can click and make multiple rows to showcase that repeated data and how the revenue is split. So that is good. Next, For each opportunity, Bright Edge assigns a customer success specialist, a technical lead, and several technical staff members. So basically, whenever there's an opportunity, they want to know who's on the project, and what people are doing on the project. So we can use the user fields for this. So this is going to do CSS here. So with this, I can select from my list of CRM users. I can pick out my CSS specialist, whoever is going to be working on this project, and assign it to them. Or just relate them to this record. Technical lead, I can also do the same thing. So we have two users fields. And now let's say I have technical staff. And this is going to allow multiple users. As you can imagine, there's going to be more than one just technical staff on one opportunity. So that should complete that demand there. Now let's see, so they want to estimate the likelihood of closing an opportunity to improve accuracy. So let's say at every turn, they want to just keep like a close percentage. They want their sales staff to monitor how likely they are going to be able to complete this deal. We can just say, we can keep a field here called likelihood of completion. It's going to be a % field. You can use this field to just showcase the sales staff will use this to showcase how likely they think they're going to close this deal, and they can change this as they need. This does overlap with the probability field or the pipeline fields, but this is something that's probably much quicker and they can do as well. Okay, next, Bright Edge wants to understand where opportunities are coming from. For example, referral, LinkedIn partner, channel, existing client. So for this one, we're not actually going to add a field. We're going to use the already existing lead source field. When your leads come in, they have a lead source usually. And when you convert them into an opportunity, this lead source gets populated based on what the lead source was. So we're just going to use this. We're going to see the properties on it. And that looks good. We're just going to leave it like that. So this one is already done for us, and we're just going to cross that out. Next, we have some large opportunities require technical feasibility before quoting. So basically, we just want to make sure that we are actually able to do this before we attempt to do it. So we just can make a checkbox. This is just going to say technical feasibility. This is maybe something that their technical lead will check off before handing down work to technical staff, just to make sure that, yes, this is okay, we can do the work that they want us to do. And that is going to be all of their demands. So the last thing that I'm just going to show is just show how you might want to use a section to section off like terms and make your thing look nicer. There isn't a lot here already, but maybe we can add one more section. Maybe we'll call this technical information. Now I can take all of those fields that maybe just have to do with the technical side of things, move them into here. And we should be okay. So that's just going to show you how you can use a section to kind of clear up your data, organize your data on your forms, because organization is everything and you want these things to be neat and clean to improve your efficiency. All right, so now that we're done customizing our module, I'm just going to show you some fields and how it looks like in an actual record. So this is an opportunity that I have. I have all my fields. I have a likelihood of completion, test comp. I have a start date and a closing date. Brief technical description. I have all my technical staff. Note that these are actually users that are in my system. So I'm using 3 different users here for the technical staff. And my technical lead is just one single user, just another user in my system. I also have my CSS up here. This is a different user in my system. This project has been assessed for technical feasibility, so this is checked off. And we have a indication of what our revenue will be from the project. So we can see in the first week, I get $12,500 in revenue. Next week, I get $5,000. Week after that, $10,000. And that would be the closing of the project, just based on that closing date there. And the last thing is, I've already shown you this, but if I go into the account record, I can see the support plan that they're on. So I can already see this is a premium support member. They have 30 monthly hours. And yeah, so that's going to be the end of this tutorial here. Thank you for following along.